So, yeah, somebody in the comments, I can't remember who, was asking me to take a look into what are the actual costs of, the euphemistically named gender affirming care. What are the actual costs of this? Because when you see the costs, it might reveal perhaps a perverse incentive for the medical establishment and pharmaceutical companies to be really gung ho on it. Boston Children's Hospital's transgender insanity reveals how unhinged elites make money off our kids. So, how unhinged elites make money off our kids. So, let's see. What do we have in here? Gender transition surgery can cost upwards of $100,000. And I've got some more stats coming after this from a study. The U.S. gender surgery market was valued in 2021 at $1.9 billion, with predicted annual growth of more than 10%. And this was an article from 2022. And when hormone therapy costs $1,500 a year for the rest of a patient's life, no wonder entrepreneurial medics want kids on the treatment treadmill as young as possible. Clinics are popping up like mushrooms to take advantage of this new business opportunity. The first American pediatric gender clinic opened in 2007, and there are now more than 50 nationwide. So, transition surgery can cost upwards of $100,000. $1.9 billion in 2021, with predicted annual growth of more than 10%, which is a lot. And I think they're probably understating it there, considering the kind of social contagion aspect of this, especially for young girls. Hormone therapy, $1,500 a year. I mean, if you're doing surgical interventions, then that is just going to keep going on forever, because they're going to have to keep going in and fixing things, right? Because this is all just an experiment at this point. They don't really know what they're doing. So anyway, I found this study here. So, utilization and costs of gender-affirming care in a commercially insured transgender population. Let's see. Whitman Walker Institute, Washington, D.C., Johns Hopkins, Bloomberg School of Public Health, Center for Applied Transgender Studies, Chicago, University of Washington, Seattle. So this is not from some, far-right blog. No. Okay, so let's take a look at what this says. So, frequency and costs of claims for gender-affirming surgeries. Phalloplasty, so that's a fake penis. Mean total cost. So they've got it broken down between health plan costs and out-of-pocket costs. We're just going with what is the total cost, because we're looking at what the incentive would be for the medical industry and pharmaceutical companies to be a part of all this, right? To push this stuff. So, phalloplasty. Per procedure, $65,318. Per person, $137,893. The reason there's a difference there between per procedure and per person is because, so you have the phalloplasty procedure, but there's endless complications. So they're going to be going back in and again and again. And that's why it runs up to almost $138,000. That's a lot of money. Vaginoplasty. I think that's what Justin Trudeau's going to get once he leaves office. Per procedure, $47,000. Per person, $56,000. So not as much difficulty with that one, but still you've got to keep going back in, and it's very expensive. Hysterectomy, $16,000. Orchiectomy, $8,100. Mastectomy, $14,900. It's almost $15,000. Mammoplasty, $18,600. This is big money, folks. This is big money. We found the perverse incentive, all right? Let's just say that. We found it. Now, keep in mind that the hormones, those are a lifelong thing. So that's $1,500 a year, every year. And that's now, right? What is it going to cost in the future? Obviously, inflation is going to be at play. This doesn't include, hormone blockers or, mental health costs as well, which I think there's going to be plenty of that. And just long-term complications. So complications, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road, right? It's all very expensive. But there's obviously a lot of money to be made here. Here from Johns Hopkins, Bloomberg School of Public Health. In the first 5 years, the researchers found providing health care for transgender people cost between $34,000 and $43,000 per year of quality of life. Now, quality of life means a year of perfect health, which I don't think you're obviously never going to get that with these procedures. But $34,000 and $43,000 per year for the first 5 years. After 10 years, the cost dropped to between $7,000 and $10,000 per year. So obviously this is highly lucrative. Obviously, you always want to follow the money if you want to find out what the underlying truth is behind something or behind claims. There's your answer. There's your answer. There's your answer why the medical industry are 100% behind this. They're going into overdrive for this. And that's why they want them young. The younger you get them, the more money. I mean, these are lifelong patients. These are a lifelong license kids are a lifelong license to print money for these people. And that's what they see them as. And it doesn't have to be every doctor. It just has to be a small percentage of them that just have absolutely no conscience whatsoever. A small percentage of surgeons, right? Now, it didn't come from them. They're just being opportunists. It came from, the cultural Marxism. It came from the cultural revolution that we're seeing happening right now. People without a conscience who want to make a lot of money saw it, and then they said, yep, we're in. Yeah, we're all for this now. Definitely. This seems like a great idea. You're all right. You're all right. How much can I make again? Yeah, definitely you're right. So anyway, there, folks, we have our answer.